How does Brazil and India compare in relation to child labor?
Both countries are fastest growing economies. They have very vibrant societies with democracy, good laws, constitutional provisions. But in spite of all this, we see the problem of child labor in both countries. Serious problem. Of course, we have seen the decline of child labor in both countries during last 15-20 years. But even then, the children are still working. Some of them are child slaves, some of them are forced to prostitution, some of them are working on the streets. The quality of education for children is also linked with child labor, so that is also compromised. So we see these problems, but definitely a lot of progress has been made in both countries.
So do you have any suggestions that you make to the Brazilian government in regards to this problem?
I don't have suggestion as such, but I have been urging them that for any reason the issue of children in general, but child labor and child servitude in particular, should not go off track because sometimes it remains invisible. People think that, okay, we have solved the problem and this is not a serious issue, but it is an issue. So the government should keep on prioritizing the issue of child labor in the country and invest more money on prevention, education and rehabilitation of children who are withdrawn from child labor, definitely. More work is needed to change the mindset of people, and that requires a lot of involvement of society, government and business sector. One has to keep eye on the production and supply chains of the international brands as well as the local companies, that no child labor is involved in the production and supply at any cost. So it's necessary that government, civil society and the business sector work hand in hand to find a solution to the problem of child labor.
You said that when you were interviewed that you think in your lifetime that child labor will be extinguished. Do you still believe that?
I still believe it. I am not too young, too old. This was a few years ago, so it's not a big deal. But I can see the decline of child labor globally. You can imagine that how the number of child laborers could be declined from 260 million to 168 million during last 15 years or so. So if we can see a remarkable drop of child labor in 15 years' time, we have much more resources, we have much more technology, we have much more advancement of communication. So we can definitely put an end to child labor in coming 10 years or so.
How do you feel personally being responsible for the freedom of so many kids, thousands?
Actually, these children and then their parents gave me a great opportunity. I am thankful to them that they trusted on me and I was able to help them liberation. But each time when I free a child from slavery or child labor, I think that I'm freeing myself. You cannot compare that joy of freedom with anything else. When a child is liberated, who lost all his hope that he will ever come back to his home or meet his or her mother, and the first smile of freedom appears on the face of that child, is divine. It's a glimpse of God. Similarly, a mother who lost all her hope that her child will ever come and she will be able to embrace and hug him, and when it happens, then the tear of joy rolls on the face of that mother are also the glimpse of God. So I am thankful to them. They have freed me from inside, from my egos, my fears, from apprehensions and inhibitions, and I feel more liberated by freeing them.